Hey, what's up Pokemon fans, and welcome back to another video. Not long ago, I made a video discussing 10 of the most annoying Pokemon to hunt for in the 7th generation of Pokemon, and my comment section got flooded with amazing people commenting on ways to hunt some of the mons I had listed. I really wanted to expand on that, and to show you guys how myself and a couple of my friends have hunted for some of the more challenging Pokemon in Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, by no means are these the only way to hunt these Pokemon, it's just what we've done and what has worked for us. In this video, I'm going to cover how to get a Harvest ability Pokemon, as well as how to hunt Pyukumuku, a female Salandit, Beldum, and any Pokemon with the ability Sturdy. So before I start hunting for any of these Pokemon, it's worth mentioning that most of them are going to require a Pokemon with the ability Harvest and Skill Swap in order to switch its ability onto another Pokemon. Now, I personally prefer using an Exeggutor, so if you don't already have one of these, we're going to need to get one. Run over to the nearest Pokemon Center and get yourself a Pokemon with the move Skill Swap. I personally prefer using Sylveon since it learns it at level 25. And you're also going to need any Pokemon with the move False Swipe. From there, you're going to hop on a Charizard and take a flight over to Exeggutor Island. Now run around until you find yourself an Exeggcute. Now this is where the fun really begins. Once you've encountered one, you need to start an SOS chain for it. So bring out your False Swiper and hit it until it's down to 1 HP and then use an Adrenaline Orb. The chance for a hidden ability goes up with chain length, so I would recommend doing a little bit of chaining here to up your chances of a hidden ability Pokemon appearing. Now once you've got a decent chain going, switch in your Skill Swap Sylveon and wait for Exeggcute to call a new friend in. Now, use Skill Swap on the new Exeggcute on the field, and if it's Harvest, feint the original Call-in Mon and catch the new friend. If not, feint the new one and continue skill swapping the new call-in until it's a Harvest one. Just keep in mind that the chance for a hidden ability is only 15% at max, so you may need to switch your False Swiper back in to switch the Calling Mon, or it will faint and you'll have to start over. Now once you get your hidden ability one, you'll need to head over to the Battle Tree Move Tutor and teach it Skill Swap, as well as level it all the way to level 50 for the move Bestow. Beyond that, Hypnosis and Sunspore are popular moves, as well as evolving it into an Exeggutor, but that's really up to you. Alright, let's start this off with Pyukumuku. Now, the thing that makes Pyukumuku a real pain to shiny hunt is its ability Innards Out. Innards Out causes damage to your Pokemon if you knock out a Pyukumuku. The trick being that it damages for the same amount of HP that Pyukumuku had when you knocked it out. So, if you knock out one at full health, it takes some massive damage. The trick for getting around this is a Pokemon with the ability Magic Guard. I personally prefer Clefable for this one, since it gets Thunderbolt and super effective moves increase call-in rates. So for this hunt, you're going to need a Magic Guard Pokemon, your Harvest Trickmon, and one standard False Swipe Pokemon, and of course your Adrenaline Orbs. Now to find Pyukumuku, you have two options on where you can hunt for this green sea cucumber: Hano Beach and Route 7. Now I personally prefer Hano Beach because its encounter rate there is 30% while surfing, day or night. Start off with your Harvestmon in slot 1. I recommend using either a Roto Encounter or Honey, since encounters while surfing are super slow. Now once you encounter a Pyukumuku, start off by bestowing a Leppa Berry onto it and then using Skill Swap. Pyukumuku does get Taunt, so if you get taunted and can't swap it, you can always spam Adrenaline Orbs until you can. Once that's done, that's it for your Harvestmon. Go ahead and switch into your False Swipe Pokemon. Once it's on the field, go ahead and hit it until it's got 1 HP left. Now switch into your Magic Guard Pokemon and use an Adrenaline Orb if you haven't already. From there on, you should be 100% safe to simply knock out the new one you called in without worrying about Innards Out racking up major damage to your Pokemon. Now next up on this list is a female Salandit. For this hunt, you'll need the following Pokemon: your Harvestmon, a standard False Swiper, and a male Pokemon with the ability Cute Charm. I personally prefer Sylveon for this one, and I also recommend that you teach it Substitute, since Salandit is a fan of both poisoning and burning moves. You've got 3 options on where to find Salandit in Ultra Sun and Moon: Wella Volcano Park, Lush Jungle, and Route 8. For this one, we're going to be heading over to the Wella Volcano Park area. Now it's heavily debated on whether your Cute Charmer needs to be first in your party alive or fainted in Generation 7, and I couldn't find anything saying which was correct. I can say that I used a non-fainted Sylveon and it worked, so that's what we're going to do here. Start off with Sylveon first in your party until you encounter a Salandit, and then immediately switch into your Harvestmon and use Skill Swap and Bestow to get that Leppa Berry goodness going. From there, you're going to switch into your False Swiper, get it down to 1 HP, and then switch back into Sylveon or whatever Cute Charm user you chose. Get your Sylveon to use Substitute and throw up an Adrenaline Orb and you're good to go. Continue fainting the new encounter and wait for the shiny to appear. It's worth mentioning though that even with a cute charmer, you're not 100% guaranteed a female, so you still might land up with the male instead, but this is the best way to increase your odds at snagging a shiny female Salandit. Now, I adore shiny Beldum, but in Generation 7, it's a bit of the pain in the butt to hunt. To hunt this Pokemon, you're going to need 3 Pokemon. Your Harvestmon, of course, a Decidueye or an Alolan Marowak with False Swipe, I personally prefer Decidueye, and a second Harvestmon. The reason for Decidueye besides its False Swiping power is because of its Ghost typing. Beldum only knows Takedown, so if it can land it, it's going to knock itself out constantly and your chain will end. The second Harvestmon is for when you actually get the shiny. The catch rate on Beldum is the same rate as most legendary Pokemon, and with only 20 PP on its only move, there's a really good chance of it using Struggle and dying before you can catch it. Now beyond all that, it's a fairly standard hunt. Take flight on a Charizard to mount Hokulani and run around until you find your Beldum, Harvest Swap it, switch into your Decidueye, and hunt as normal. Now last up on this episode is Bonsly or any other Pokemon that gets the ability Sturdy like Magnemite, Togedemaru, and Roggenrola. There are 2 ways around this. The first is to use a Pokemon with the ability Mold Breaker, which allows its user to ignore an enemy's ability. Pangoro is a great mon to use since it gets Mold Breaker and False Swipe. The other way around Sturdy is to bring a Pokemon with the move Stealth Rocks like Bisharp. So depending on what you choose to do, you'll need 2 or 3 Pokemon. For this example, I'm going to use the Stealth Rock version, so bring a Harvestmon, a Stealth Rocker, and a False Swiper. If you choose the Mold Breaker mon, you can ignore the steps using a Stealth Rocker. So off you go to find your encounter. I'm using Bonsly for this one. Harvest Trick your ability and a berry onto it, and then switch into your Stealth Rocker. Set up rocks and then switch into your False Swiper. Hit it till it has 1 HP, use an Adrenaline Orb, and then hunt as normal. With rocks up, every Pokemon that gets called in will take a little bit of damage and negate the Sturdy ability. And that about wraps it up for the very first episode of How to Hunt. There are a ton more Pokemon I'm interested in talking about, but I didn't want to make a 40-minute long video, so I'm just going to try to do a handful per video. I do want to know what some of the mons you guys want to see covered are. Not only are there some that I've probably missed, but by telling me you let me know which ones to prioritize going into the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, you can always click the like button, and if you're interested in seeing more of my content from shiny hunting to top 10s, you can always click that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys over on the next video.